Hello everyone, I'm Artifacts96. Without facial hair this time, it felt so good to get all that crap off my face, y'all. And I'm back for another video for you guys. And today's video, I think I'm going to do something a little bit different. As you know, a lot of stuff is happening in the world. So this video is a little bit of escapism, and it's also a bit of a serious topic as well. So I can get what I want and talk about stuff that actually has meaning to it. It's not just like frivolous or just petty or whatever. And also, I don't have any black nails on today. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about Pewdiepie and James Charles. What do these two have to do with each other? You'll find out soon enough, because we're just going to get right into it. Now, I'm pretty sure for most of you that have clicked on this video, you know about the horrible existential horror, the cosmic horror that was the bi-sister era, when Tati Westbrook released a video about her friend at the time, I guess, and maybe someone that she was mentoring. She released a video called Bi-Sisters, in which she pretty much says that James Charles over here is pretty much having like behavior towards men and straight men as well. Now, fast forward to present day. It turns out that even though Tati could have handled this a lot better, she was right when she made the first video Bi-Sisters, saying that James Charles had a lot of weird stuff that he was doing, messaging people and trying to get them to behave in a certain way because he's a celebrity, pretty much using your influence and the power imbalance to get people to do what you want. They would normally do it, but since it's you, they would do it because they're starstruck, you know? They're like, oh my God, this is like the celebrity. If I had one of my favorite artists of all times message me, I'm not saying what I do, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't act the same way as I would if I was talking to one of my boys or my best friend. Anyway, so again, turns out that she was right, because in present day, James Charles has a lot of alleged victims coming forward about him. One in particular who I will not name or show in this video because he still is underage, and I will not have that bullshit on my channel like that because he is still a kid, alright? This alleged victim came forward and he had actual screenshots of the conversations that him and James Charles were having. Now, another important thing to mention is that these conversations weren't just like, how you doing? How's your day? No, this was an X-rated conversation. And James Charles, he sent the kid nudes, okay, and wanted nudes in return. Now, there are more and more alleged victims coming forward, and which caused James to make a video called Holding Myself Accountable. In this video, he does not do that at all. He victim blames all throughout the video, and even goes as far to say that most of the people lied about their age. Now, another important thing to mention for all you dumbasses out there that are about to come on this video right now, it is not illegal for an underage person, even though it sucks, to lie about their age when they're talking to you. But it is illegal for you to talk to them in that type of manner. It is your job as the adult to make sure that the person that you're talking to is the age of consent. Okay, that's your legal note for today, alright? Okay, so the video at first was doing very well. A lot of people liked it, and then YouTubers, a lot of YouTubers, I can't even name them, started taking the absolute piss out of the video because, to be honest with you, it was really easy. James Charles victim blamed a lot in that video. Now, let's move on to Pewdiepie. Back in I almost said my sister. Back in the Bi-Sister era, Pewdiepie defended James Charles a lot. He made a lot of videos defending James Charles. In fact, his first video defending James Charles was called James Charles is Cancelled, in which he gives a play-by-play of the situation, and he criticizes Tati Westbrook heavily while defending James Charles. And it didn't go over so well for Tati. I mean, but then again, I'm not surprised because she still could have done a lot of this stuff better. Only thing it is that she didn't. So when Pewdiepie made his video, the tide started turning for Tati in a very bad way, because you had this big YouTuber, I believe at the time he had 104 million subs, So imagine if you had this large YouTuber speaking out against you, the tides are going to turn for you because they have a large fan base who will believe anything that he says. And it was easy to believe because Tati was the older one in this instance and James was the younger one. And it showed kind of an unfair power imbalance that it was just like a mentor coming out against and trying to take down their student. Now, I will say this right here. Even though Tati really could have handled that better, I wish she had have gone to the police about what she felt. I really do think that some criticism against her was a little bit too harsh. Some people, instead of just focusing on that, was really just being ugly and disgusting, saying things that I wouldn't even want to mention.
James. And now people are definitely defending James to the point where they go after other people. But wait a minute, you were ready to cancel him. You don't get the right to switch around, you know? They're expecting everyone else to be better, but everyone part of cancel culture are no better themselves. And speaking of which, Tati uploaded a video, and I wanted to address it so badly because I hate her so much.
It's very interesting that he had all of this to say right here when he thought that James Charles was innocent. Now, it's not lost on me that, again, he helped James Charles be perceived as innocent, and even went as far as saying that he hates Tati Westbrook. Now, the whole reason why he said that he hated Tati is because she spread false rumors about James Charles. Now that it turns out that she was right, he's not trying to be in that much of a hurry to take everything back that he said about her and to recant his support for James Charles. A lot of the videos are still up on his channel, and more importantly, James Charles, like I said before, was featured on his channel. It seems as though that he does not like to admit when he's wrong, and that certainly would not surprise me, nor should it surprise anybody else given the fact about his history. Also, at the time when I was editing this video, apparently he made a video criticizing a fellow named Faze, I believe, and in this video he heavily criticized him for doing something that's called giveaways on YouTube, in which the only thing you have to do is subscribe or like to someone's channel in order to receive a product or products. Now, again, it's very interesting how he could be able to call out him for having a giveaway on his channel, which is still allowed on YouTube, by the way, and I don't understand the big deal about that, other than the fact that some people may not win. I mean, it's just like the lottery. Everybody's not going to win. Now, he can call out that, but he cannot call out his so-called former friend and colleague who he helped vindicate, even though it turns out that James Charles was not innocent at all, and he was manipulating behind the scenes the entire time. Very interesting.
On this channel because it just was too far, way too far. Now, Felix, on the other hand, he did not give a fuck about any of that shit because he insulted Tati constantly, and he kept on defending James Charles with another video that he did. I think it was something to the effect of Tati responds, James responds, Pro Jared responds. I still don't know who Pro Jared is. Somebody have to tell me in the comment sections down below. But, and again, he criticizes Tati heavily and defends James Charles. And this kept on turning the tides for James in a good way. So by this point, you're probably already figuring out that James Charles had help being vindicated from the Bi Sisters era. It wasn't just him making the video called No More Lies. And another thing about the video No More Lies, in looking at it in retrospect, that video really didn't reveal anything at all, and it didn't really clarify much. Only thing it clarified was that Tati already knew that he had this type of behavior before, and that Jeffree Star's creepy ass cussed him out to begin with. Now, another important thing to mention before I move on from that is just because they were right that James Charles had like behavior doesn't mean that that Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson should be vindicated that easily. Just saying that. Now, when it comes down to Pewdiepie now, I would say you would think that someone who defended someone who pretty much on his video and a Twitter statement admitted to messaging a minor, and that's not even alleged, he actually admitted to that on his video, that James Charles messaged a minor. You would think that the bigger YouTuber in this instance that helped vindicate him would also be the one to condemn him, because he did help get the pressure off of James Charles back. But PewDiePie has not done that at all. He has not came forward with a statement about James Charles on his social media. He has not come out with a video talking about what happened and how he feels about it after he has helped vindicate this person on YouTube. But it is kind of weird to think, though, that he is starting to do shady things and starting to like make shady comments and videos about James Charles, like this one.
Oh, wait, I think I know where you're going with this.
Why are you friends, huh?
Someone's getting canceled, you know.
Ain't me. Him. Cancel both of them. All of them.
This is James Charles?
Who puts blanket over their sofa like that? Stop it. Ooh, James, nice. Nice.
I didn't know he was gonna get it.
Got that in there.
Now I find this weird because his main criticism for Tati Westbrook was that she should have handled this in private, right? That this is the type of stuff that should have been handled in private. It shouldn't have been played out in the court of YouTube's, all right? Which he's right about that. I really do agree with that. But I would also like to say that he's doing the same thing now. The same thing that he criticized Tati Westbrook for, he's doing it right now. And it looks very, very hypocritical of him to do that. So I'm wondering, did he defend James Charles because he really thought that he was a friend of his? Or did he defend James Charles because he just wanted to get into some mess? He knew it would drum up views for him. His name would get involved. And that was it. Because if you're truly friends with someone who did something like this and you help defend them and vindicate them, it's kind of your responsibility to say that, look, I don't get what this person did and I feel like a goddamn idiot. Hey, we all play the fools, people. Even people that have like a large amount of subs like he has now, we all play the fool. But it looks kind of weird on his behalf to not say anything at all when he helped pretty much prove that James Charles was innocent all along. So it's something how somebody can get into anything else and just dibble his toes in anything. Anything he wants to talk about, he wants to talk about. But he does not want to talk about the things that he were complacent in. PewDiePie was complacent in what James Charles did and allowed him to look innocent in the public eye, which allowed more people to be harassed by James Charles or texted or whatever by James Charles. But anyway, that's all I have to say for this. As always, I'm Artifacts96 and I have nothing to lose but everything to gain. Also, I'm fully aware that this video is going to call all the incels who do not know how to use deodorant to my comment section. I don't give a fuck. I'm probably going to delete most of them. So go ahead and hit that dislike button already. Bye!